Today I'd like to share with you my method and recipe for making super easy cake pops that are a real crowd pleaser. All you need is, you don't need to be Betty Crocker in the kitchen, all you need is a box of whatever your favorite cake mix is. Today I'm going to do funfetti to make it a little fun and exciting. You also need to get from your local craft store these candy melts, which come in a variety of colors, so whatever your theme is, whether it be for Halloween or any everyday stuff, they have colors pretty much that cover all the rainbow. And then the rest of your ingredients, you also need cake pop sticks. And once again, you can get these from your local craft store like Michael's. Some ribbon to just add a little special garnish to it. And little plastic candy covers that we'll put on top so that each cake pop is individually wrapped. This will help it stay fresh. So we'll go ahead and start mixing everything up. All you'll need to do is mix up your ingredients the way the package says for a regular cake, and just go ahead and cook the cake in the oven, and we'll show you the next step. So now once your cake has been baked in the oven and has been cooled, this is kind of the secret to cake pops, is you're gonna want to crumble this up. And a great tip is if you just take a hunk of cake and you just rub it together in your hands, it crumbles nicely in the bowl. So that's how you're gonna wanna crumble every single piece of cake so that it is fine without these kind of big chunks of crust in it. So you want to just keep rubbing it through your hands until the entire cake is crumbled. Any of the parts of cake that have been cooked too long, like this, it's a hard crust, you can just leave that part out. Okay, the next step is to buy a can of frosting, but you're gonna want the whipped frosting. It just makes it lighter and makes the cake balls not so heavy. So you're gonna take any flavor you want, as I just chose white. And you're gonna put the entire can in the bowl. Now you can do this with a spatula to mix it all up, but I find that it's just easiest if you just do it with your hands. And you're gonna wanna just mix all of the frosting and the crumbs together. Kind of knead it together the way you would meatloaf. Okay, once everything has been worked through the crumbs, now what you're gonna do is actually make the cake balls. So take about that much in your hand, roll it to the size you want. You want it the size of a meatball. Too big is gonna be too heavy on the stick, and too small is gonna kind of look funny. So that size is usually ideal, and you're just going to make a bunch of these balls and put them on the cookie sheet, and then you're going to want to put this cookie sheet in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes so that the balls can harden, because you need them hard in order to dip them in the chocolate. Okay, the next step with the cake pops is you're gonna want to have put your cake balls in the refrigerator for about 20 to 45 minutes. If you need them to set a little faster, you could always put it in your freezer, but who really has room for that? So the next step is to take your lollipop stick, and after you've melted your chocolate in the microwave and gotten it to pretty melted, thick consistency. You don't want to over melt it to make it too liquidy and hot. You just want it enough that it's melted. You'll take the stick, dip it in so that it has a fair amount of chocolate on it, and you're just going to stick it straight into the cake ball like that. What this is going to do is this is going to give the cake pop support. We're going to finish doing all of these and put these back in the refrigerator for another 15 minutes. So that the chocolate can harden. This way it gives the cake pop structure, so when we actually dip it in the chocolate, the cake ball doesn't just fall apart and crumble and fall off the stick. And it'll also keep it nicely firm on there so that when you wrap it and you give it to people, that it won't just be ball that's hanging off. Okay, now that the cake balls have been in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes or so, the stick, as you can see, has been set in place with the chocolate. So now this is nice and dip it in the chocolate. So I melted a bunch of chocolate. Another tip is to actually have wax paper or freezer paper down, because when you spill, it hardens pretty fast and then you have a mess on your counter. So this is just for easy cleanup. So take a big tablespoon. The easiest way to do this is to take a tablespoonful of chocolate, take your cake ball, just roll it in the chocolate, try to get it all covered, and then sort of roll it like this so the excess comes off. And another fun tip is to buy foam board. You can do it in any shape, and it's a fun presentation, but it's also great on how they dry. So once you have the chocolate done, just push the cake pop into the foam board and let it dry. And move on to your next one. And you're gonna wanna do all of these as fast as you can, because the chocolate does set pretty fast. One tip that I like to do is I actually keep this pan in the refrigerator the whole time and just take about 2 or 3 out at a time. That way they don't start to warm. Okay, the final step for the cake pops is to put the plastic bags over them and finish them off with whatever ribbon that you would like. These size bags are the best. One little trick that I have is to make a little slit on either side. That helps give you a little bit more room. I like to use real ribbon instead of the plastic kind, because it's just a nice little finish and makes them look fancier. You can double knot or single knot, doesn't matter. And there you go.